Series on Reverend Joanne McFadden's writings. This one she's called Constructive Grief. Constructive Grief. Life has to end, love doesn't. And that's Mitch Albom in The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. Mitch Albom, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. I'm sure you've heard of the book. I have, and I think I've read a little bit of it, but can't remember much about it right now, to be honest with you. Ernest Holmes in Words That Heal Today on page 34, paragraph 2, says, instead of being overcome by grief, we should enter the joy of living. Instead of being overcome by grief, we should enter the joy of living. And Reverend Joanne goes on to say this: I'm forever in awe of parents who transform their grief over the loss of a child into a potent force for good. Erin Musto is one such patient. After her daughter Madeline died of cancer at the age of 5, Musto founded the Maddie's Mark Foundation, which is dedicated to giving children suffering from major illnesses what she calls their best day ever. Her actions demonstrate the reciprocal nature of the universe. During Madeline's illness, many stepped in to help so her family could spend as much quality time with her as possible. Now Musto's foundation does the same for others. That desire to give back, motivated by love, is contagious. For example, a family whose oldest daughter was Madeline's classmate set up a lemonade stand to raise funds, and then, spurred by their success and the desire to give even more, turned it into a hot cocoa stand. For the past 4 years, they've braved the New York winters to sell cocoa to those who view their neighbors' holiday lights show. Visitors are generous, donating everything from $1 to $100. From lemonade and cocoa sales, the 3 siblings raised $11,000 for the foundation. As the saying goes, bad things happen to good people. However, good people turn those bad things into good, inspiring others in the process. Where can you participate in this amazing, reciprocal, universal reciprocity? Well, the first thing is, I want to make one slight change to the way I look at this. It says, the affirmation, I'm going to read the affirmation out because I changed it slightly, at least for me. If you want to leave it the same, fine. It says, when bad things happen, I choose to turn them into good, inspiring others to do the same. When bad things happen, I choose to turn them into good, inspiring others to do the same. And I might have actually screwed up the affirmation there. I think I might have actually put down when bad things happen to, in brackets, good people, I choose to turn them into good, inspiring others to do the same. And the point I was making is this. Bad things happen to good people, but bad things happen to people who are, quote, bad, unquote. But the way I look at life is this. When bad things happen to anybody, it's our job to try and help. So I don't care how good or how bad somebody's been. I think it's our job to help them anyway. The other message that I get from this reading is this. That when we look beyond ourselves, when we look at other people and their needs, then we start to transform ourselves as well, because we stop working from our ego and we start working from our higher self. So in other words, when you're concentrating on somebody else's needs, you've forgotten about your own ego when you're getting in to help them just for the sake of it. Now, Yes, there are people who go out and help other people just for one reason. They want to be recognized for it. They want the glory of it. If they're politicians, they want to get votes for it. But by and large, when something bad happens, people jump in. Some people are actually trained and paid to do this. For instance, yesterday on the news, and then I saw it again this morning, actually. I actually saw the news last night and this morning, which is kind of unusual these days. But anyway, there'd been a collision on a bridge between some 18-wheelers, and one of the 18-wheelers was hanging precipitously over the bridge, and the cab was actually hanging down. It was below the level of the bridge, and the first responders had to come and get the lady driver out of the cab. So one guy rappelled down and got her out and brought her up. So these people are actually paid to respond when bad things happen. And the thing is this, they're going to respond whether the person in the cab was, quote, a good person or, quote, a bad person. It's just a person. So I like to switch this rating around to say, when bad things happen to people, our job is to jump in and try and help in numerous ways. The kids here helped by the lemonade stand and then a hot cocoa stand. $11,000 may not seem a lot of money, but to kids raising it from just selling hot cocoa or lemonade, it is a big deal, and it's a lot of money. The way we can prepare ourselves to do this, if we're not brought up to do it, is to do our spiritual work. Because why? When we do our spiritual work, we take the focus off of ourself and we turn it inwards. So in other words, we turn into spirit. And that's the whole point, I think, of these kind of readings, which is to say, let's sometimes, not always, but let's sometimes turn the focus off ourselves and turn it onto others. So for instance, you can do it in many small and big ways. One way is to visit somebody who's sick in the hospital. Another is just to be a listening ear to somebody when things are going on. Another one's to do simple things like offer a birthday party for someone or participate in a birthday party. In other words, to look for ways in which we can help others. One time on the toll road, I saw somebody, and it's been in the news as well, I guess, years ago, because it doesn't happen now because of the way toll roads work, was people actually paying the toll for the person coming behind. In the grocery store, paying groceries for the person who's coming next. There's lots and lots of ways that we can help other people. When I was a kid, I was a teenager, I was a member of a church group called the St. Vincent de Paul Society. And our job, I was a teenager, so I was just part of the group. I wasn't leading it. We would go around and visit people who were shut in. They didn't get out much. So we would go and just sit there and listen to them. Sometimes we would take them like gifts of energy. At that time they were still burning coal. So we would offer to pay for some coal for them, for instance, that kind of thing. So lots of ways that we can help. The whole point is, though, to work from our heart center and not from our ego. And that's really as much as I want to say tonight. It's just a quick reminder that Reverend Lisa will be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. She'll also be speaking again tomorrow. So tune in for that. Service is 11 o'clock. It's 11 till 12. If you are in the neighborhood, we're having a little celebration afterwards. I won't say what it is in case people involved in it might hear. We're having a little celebration after the 12 o'clock service. So if you live in the neighborhood, please come along for that. And if you can work purple, that will be even more cool. So until tomorrow and another new reading, and let's see what tomorrow brings. Because right now, I'm going to go and get changed. I'm in my workout gear. I decided to heck with it. I'm just going to do this in my workout gear. I've been to the gym, came back from the gym, so here I am, all worked out. So until next time, namaste.